And I am right here, right now, with Harry Coker. He is the National Cyber Director. Tell us what that means and what you do at the White House.
Well, good morning,
Good
first of all,
morning.
and thank you for having me and having all of us here to talk about democracy.
Thank you for being here.
Yep, my pleasure. But as the National Cyber Director, myself and my entire office, we serve as the President's Special Advisor, Senior Advisor on cybersecurity strategy and policy. So we try to guide the administration's maneuvers to protect cyberspace for the American public. That's number one. We also try to bring coherence to the federal cybersecurity ecosystem. There are a number of key players in cybersecurity, all doing great jobs. They're being effective, but we need to be effective and efficient. So bringing that federal coherence to all of that activity is the second tasking that we have.
So I have to ask you straight up, how much of a risk are we as a nation for a cyber security attack? I just read in researching this about the Volt typhoon, something that I didn't even know about. So expand on that and tell us, what is our risk at present?
Yes, in a bottom line up front, we are at unacceptable risk when it comes to our nation's critical infrastructure. And I say that, and we said it publicly, not just to the American citizenry, but to the world. 3 weeks ago, when we had a testimony before a House subcommittee. In particular, it was myself, FBI Director Wray, CISA Director Jen Easterly, and now the former Director NSA and Commander U.S. Cyber Command. We testified regarding the threat, the unacceptable risk that our critical infrastructure is placed under right now. And critical infrastructure is vital to the American way of life. It covers everything from water, energy, transportation, education, healthcare, manufacturing, on and on. Everything that we need to thrive as a nation, that we need to enjoy our daily life as citizens, is covered by critical infrastructure. So we are, as was announced that day, we are taking on those threats and trying to put the risk at an acceptable level. Risk will never be eliminated 100%, but it has to be managed. It has to be managed. It won't be avoided. It has to be managed. And that's what we're working hard on. Not a cliche to say 24/7, but we're doing that nonstop.
Are there things that you can tell us about what it is that you are doing in order to keep the nation safe from that kind of attack? I think we've all seen those dystopian movies, and so we're wondering how realistic they are.
Yes, I'll tell you, the foundation for what we're doing is has to do with people, and the public, and partnerships. People, number one. Any effective organization starts with the people. Have to have the right people with the right set of skills and the right focus on the common mission. In the United States today, there are more than 500,000 open cyber jobs. So we've been coming up short. What we have been doing has not been as effective as it needs to be. So one of the big tasks that our office and our partners across the private and public sectors taken on is closing that gap of more than 500,000 open cyber jobs. We're doing that by going places that we haven't gone before, to communities who haven't been as welcomed into cyber jobs. And we're going to also take risks on people. Paper certifications, for example, 40 degrees shouldn't be required if they're not essential to doing the job. They're not always essential. So that's one, getting the right people with the right opportunity to contribute.
Let me piggyback on that really quickly, because when we say that, what we're saying is that we're opening up access potentially to more people of color in this field that can be lucrative and that is also part of the protection of our nation.
Exactly. Like I said, more than 500,000 open jobs, but I don't believe that the United States has a talent shortage. we have talented people that we haven't identified and brought on board and developed and retained. The talent is there. We have to develop it. So yes, it's people of color, other underserved communities, frankly, could be folks who did not grow up in STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, math. You don't need to be a STEM professional to make a contribution in cybersecurity. Also, frankly, girls and women haven't always been brought on board in areas such as this, again, STEM related. We need critical thinkers. We need people who are persistent, and we need folks who care. That's what we need in cybersecurity.
So where are you recruiting that you haven't recruited in the past?
Well, haven't recruited as effectively in the past.
Okay.
Inner cities, HBCUs, minority serving institutions of all sorts. Those are the types of places we haven't been as rigorous and thorough as we need to be. Also, community college as an example, trade schools as an example. Again, nothing at all against 40 degrees, but is that necessary to help out? No, it's not. Earlier, just last month, I was at community college at Baltimore County and talking to an exceptional, 2-year institution where they recognize you can have the knowledge without having the piece of paper, and that knowledge is what counts. So skills-based hiring, skills-based, not paper-based, but what do you know? That's another big effort on this front.
Let me ask you, in terms of our personal risk, are there things that we could be doing better to make sure that we are not inviting in all these things, from spyware to malware to ransomware and all these kinds of things? What can we be doing better as we are attached to all these devices?
Absolutely. There's a few things that the big we can and should be doing better, and us as individuals. Our national cybersecurity strategy talks about 2 big shifts. And the first shift, which is relevant to your question, is shifting the responsibility of defending cyberspace from those who are less capable to those who are most capable. Those who are less capable are individuals, small towns, schools, medical facilities, houses of worship. Those who are most capable are federal government, high-tech industry, who live this every day. But as individuals, one of the things that we can do is multi-factor authentication, as opposed to just having a password. Have another means of authenticating who we really are. Something else that individuals can and should do is be aware of phishing. Entities that are trying to get us to click on a link, and then that could be a nefarious actor that really wants access to our information. We call that basic cyber hygiene and awareness, just knowing the environment and living by what we're calling zero trust. It really is. If you don't know where something came from, don't click that link. Verify that.
Well, that is something to definitely be mindful of. Harry Coker, the National Cyber Director, thank you so much for being with us on Reality Check today. We appreciate the time.
It's my pleasure. Happy to talk about cyber, because it impacts every one of us nowadays, literally from when we're born and our birth certificates are electronically filed to when we pass away and the death certificate goes in. It hits everyone in America.
Well, you have an important job, so we appreciate it.
Happy to serve. Thank you.
Thank you.